awkward birthday texts, and obligatory holiday messages. That was the extent of our communication. So when his name lit up my caller ID, I almost let it ring out. But Julia was sitting beside me, and this is silly, I know, but I didn't want her thinking I was avoiding him. "Jasper," my dad said when I finally answered. His voice sounded worn out. "Victor told me you met with Ellie last week." I kept my tone steady. "He's having a hard time right now. He's wondering if you'd be willing to talk. He wants to apologize, make amends before your wedding so the whole family can be there to celebrate you." I actually laughed, not mockingly, just stunned. "You're calling to speak on Victor's behalf?" "The same Victor who slept with my fiancée the night before my wedding." He exhaled deeply, like he was forcing himself to stay calm with someone being unreasonable. "That was a long time ago, son. People make mistakes. He's family." No, my voice came out cold. "He stopped being family the second he betrayed me. And you stopped being much of a father when you chose his side." There was a long pause. "That isn't fair." I was trying to hold the family together by asking me to forgive the unforgivable, by telling me to get over it. "Dad, you chose 6 years ago. And so did I. I left. I built something new. I'm getting married in 4 days to a woman who actually respects me. Victor and his apology can burn in hell." "Casper, no." I cut him off. "I'm done. Don't call me again to plead for Victor. Don't even think about bringing him to my wedding. Actually, you know what? You're not invited either. We're finished here." I hung up. Julia gave my hand a gentle squeeze. "I'm proud of you," she murmured. But here's where things got messy, eh? Yesterday afternoon, Michael, my closest friend from work, who knows everything that went down 6 years ago, called me, furious. "Dude, you need to hear something." Ellie showed up at my office. Somehow, she'd figured out where he worked and went there to share her concerns. She told him she was worried about me, that she thought I was rushing into marriage without dealing with my trauma. She asked him to talk sense into me and suggest postponing the wedding so I could be sure of my choices. Michael told her to leave or he'd call security. I was stunned by the audacity. That was when Julia made an executive decision. Thanks to her connections at the firm, she drafted a cease and desist letter that got delivered to Ellie last night. It stated that any further contact with me, Julia, or anyone connected to us would be considered harassment and met with legal action. She didn't ask me first. She just did it. When I asked her why, she said, "Because you're too nice to do it, and this woman clearly doesn't understand what no means." That's the moment I knew I picked the right person. This morning, I got a long email from Victor. I barely skimmed it, just enough to get the idea. He's apparently engaged now, poor woman, and wanted to clear the air before his own wedding. He wrote about personal growth and understanding the hurt he caused. He added that Ellie reached out to him after seeing me, that she isn't doing well mentally, and asked if I could be compassionate. I forwarded the email to Julia without replying. She texted back, "Want me to send him a cease and desist too?" I told her not yet, but maybe keep it on standby. The wedding is 4 days away. We've invited around 40 people, friend from work, Julia's family, a few college buddies I still talk to. No tangled histories, just people who actually care. Tonight, Julia and I took a long walk. She asked whether I was worried about Ellie or Victor trying something dramatic at the wedding. Honestly, a small part of me is. But the venue is on a private estate, and the guest list is strict. Security already knows no one gets in without being on the list. Ellie can send all the messages she wants. Victor can write endless apology essays. My dad could try to guilt me about family. None of it matters anymore. I moved on a long time ago. I'll post one final update after the wedding, if I get time before the honeymoon or real life kicks back in. A few people asked about my mom. She died when I was 12. That's why my dad remarried and why I ended up with Victor as a half-brother. As for family at the wedding, Julia's parents and her sister will be there. They're wonderful. No one from my side, and I'm absolutely fine with that. Final update, 12 days later. I'm married, officially and happily. The wedding was last Saturday, and it was perfect. Julia looked stunning, the weather behaved, and no ghost from my past showed up. We just got back from a quick honeymoon in Colorado, and like I promised, here's the last update. The day before the wedding, I received one final text from an unknown number. 3 words, I am sorry. Dasper. I'm guessing it was Ellie, especially since the number was blocked after Julia's cease and desist. I deleted it. The wedding itself was everything I didn't have 6 years ago. Simple, meaningful, and full of people who genuinely wanted to celebrate with us. Michael, my best man, gave a speech about how I rebuilt myself like a phoenix in a business suit. Julia's sister cried. I nearly did too. During our first dance, Julia whispered, "No regrets." I knew what she meant, not about marrying her, but about everything that led us here. None. I told her, and I meant every word. People kept telling me forgiveness was necessary to move on. I don't think that's true. What they did was unforgivable, and I owe them nothing. Not closure, not absolution. What I chose instead was to build something new. I poured my energy into creating a life in which they simply didn't exist, rather than wasting years being angry over what they broke. As for where everyone ended up, I haven't heard from Ellie since that last text. Julia's letter clearly did its job. Through mutual acquaintances, I heard Ellie moved back to her hometown about 3 hours away. She's working retail now, a far cry from the director position she had 6 years ago. I hope she straightens out her life, but that's not my problem anymore. Victor? A cousin told me his engagement collapsed once his fiancée learned what happened with Ellie and me. Apparently, he also lost his job at Dad's company after they had some kind of falling out. Last I heard, he moved 2 states away to start over. Sounds familiar, right? Karma's a vicious thing. I haven't talked to my dad since that phone call. A few days after the wedding, he mailed a card. No apology, just congratulations on your marriage, with his signature. I tossed it. My cousin says Dad's not doing great. Victor leaving hit him hard, and he finally admitted he might have backed the wrong son. Too late. He's mostly alone now, except for his second wife, who apparently isn't thrilled with how any of this played out. Maybe one day we'll talk, but I'm not holding my breath. Right now, Julia is asleep on the couch next to me as I type this, tired from unpacking and catching up on work. She's got case files scattered across the coffee table, her reading glasses crooked, snoring softly. I've never been more certain of anything in my life than I am about choosing her. That's it. That's the whole story. Thanks for everything, Reddit. It's been real.